Hello and welcome back for part 2 of our kind of quick start on how to do telemedicine. With COVID-19 going around, we're trying to come up with quick, easy ways to get doctors using telemedicine so that patients can continue to receive care during the quarantine. So there's a couple of assumptions today. Let me restart. We're going to be talking about the actual way to use Zoom to do telemedicine. So Zoom is a web meeting software. They have a free client. It's a great product. We do recommend purchasing and buying the product. But there is a free one, and it's legal to use of Zoom. So if you just need to get a quick start to be able to use this for a few months, that's one way to do it. And so we're going to be using zoom.us, that's the company's website, to do telemedicine. And we're going to be using Office 365 as our mail system as an example. So I'm going to pull up my document that's got our assumptions in it. It is right here. Okay, the assumptions. The first one is you'll be using zoom.us for your telemedicine patient appointments. And this is what's going to allow you to do video conferencing appointments with voice and video. And that you're using Office 365. Now, I can't do a video on every single type of mail client out there. We use Office 365. All of our clients use Office 365. It's very popular, so we're going to be focusing entirely on that. If you don't use Office 365, the same things can be accomplished with, say, a Google, an enterprise licensed version of Google or Gmail and Google Docs and so on. So keep that in mind. And you can also do this without Zoom. You can use other products. There's tons of them on the market, but we are using Zoom. We think it's very easy, it's intuitive, and people tend to understand how it works without a lot of effort, unlike a lot of their competitors. Okay. So another assumption is that you or a technical person can create an email alias for the doctor and his nurse. That's going to make a little more sense as we get going through this, but the reason I'm saying email alias, so let's say your email address is drpotato at clinic.com. Okay, well, if you schedule a meeting with Dr. Potato at clinic.com and with a patient, they're going to see your email address, and you really don't want patients emailing you directly. So we would recommend that you create an alias for your email account that you can use for registering and doing what you need to do. So your alias might be drpotato1 at clinic.com or something like that. And that way you can create the calendar item, or your staff can on your behalf, and the person receiving it will not be able to email you. If you want to go one step further, you could actually have it do not reply or do not email at clinic.com or something like that, so that it's not directly tied to you. If you do that, just know that you might want to use your doctor's initials if you have multiple doctors in the practice. That way you can tell the different email accounts and which doctors are using them to log into Zoom. Again, that'll probably make more sense as we go through it. If it doesn't, you can always call us and we'll help you the best we can. Okay. Your patients have access to a mobile device such as an iPhone or Android phone. You can use, and in my previous video I was talking about using tablets, laptops, things like that for doctors and for everyone involved, because we thought it would be a better tool. As we actually started to do this for a clinic today, or a medical practice today, we realized that the doctors are way more comfortable working on their mobile devices, and that was sufficient for them. And it's also a lot simpler product that they work with every day versus going and logging into a portal or using specialized software with lots of features that Zoom has. So we're saying that the best way to do this is for your doctors and nurses to be able to use an iPhone and Android, as well as the patients to be able to use their iPhone and Android phone. For this demo, the following avatars will be used. Nurse Radish, that's going to be the nurse that works for the doctor, and we're going to assume that Nurse Radish is going to be scheduling the Zoom appointments with the patients and on behalf of the doctor. So Dr. Potato is being invited, will be invited to the appointments as a guest. So he'll still be able to do everything he needs to do, see the video and so on, but he'll be a guest, and Nurse Radish will be the administrator that sets up the appointment. Okay? And then Brian Largent, I'm just going to use my email account. I'm the patient. So we'll let you see a little bit of how that's going to go down. Okay, so those are the assumptions. Minimize that. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is you need to set up the Zoom account. So let's go ahead and create an account in Zoom. So we're going to set up Nurse Radish's account. So let's get an account set up? Well, first let me show you here plans and pricing. So they have a free account. It'll let you host up to 100 participants, one-to-one meetings. You can have a 40-minute limit on group meetings, so on. It's plenty for what you're doing today. So this is a fine account. Zoom is a fantastic product. You may find you want to use this for your business, for meetings or staff organizational stuff and so on. You might want to consider buying one of these more expensive accounts. Again, it's a great product. We use it. We have high-end accounts for this for our business, for webinars we do. Okay, so we're going to sign up. It's free for this, and so I'm going to put in Nurse Radish. So in Radish at algsys.com. That's the account we've created for this. It's going to send an email to Nurse Radish's email account. So let me find, I'm making this hard here. Let's move this here. And this is Nurse Radish's inbox. So we're just waiting for that email to come in. There it is. So let me make this full screen. So we're going to activate this by clicking here. Okay, so now on this screen, we're going to go ahead and create our account. So Nurse Radish, and we're going to create a password. Okay, so on this page, it's going to ask you to invite colleagues. They just want you to be able to invite people, so we're going to skip this. Okay, now it's saying you can start a meeting, but we're not going to do this from here. You've created the account. That's all you need to do at this moment, okay? You can come back here. You can schedule meetings through this web portal. You probably want to bookmark it or create a shortcut on your desktop. An easy way to do that on a Windows computer is you can grab this little padlock here, drag it to your desktop, and that will create a shortcut back to this, okay? Okay, so let me get this moved around here. So this is Nurse Radish. She is going to create an appointment now. She's all set up, so she's going to create an appointment. Well, she can't do it until she has the plugin for Zoom in her Microsoft Office 365 account. Now, this is not something that I can show you how to do easily. It'd be a little time consuming. It's not hard to do, but you just need to add the add-in to either Office 365's back-end portal, or you can add the add-in in your full Outlook client if you have Outlook installed on your computer. I've already done that in the back end, and so what I can do now is, because I already have that, is I can go create a calendar item. And we'll step through that using the plugin. So let me go ahead and go full screen here. So I am going to create a calendar item for the 29th. So we'll go New Event, and I'm going to choose a name. And so the name, and I'm just doing placeholder stuff here. So I'm going to call this Practice Name. Oops, let's see here. And Patient Name. And then we'll just go -appointment. Okay, so just replace practice name and patient name with your practice and your patient name, or you could say the doctor's name or what have you, and appointment. And this will be the subject line in the email we're about to send. And then we can invite attendee, and the doctor is Dr. Potato. Okay, so we're going to invite the doctor and the patient, and I'm the patient. My name's Brian Largent, so I'm going to be the patient for this. And that way these two people can interact. Now, I don't have to be a part, or sorry, the nurse, Radish, doesn't have to be a part of this meeting once she set it up. So we've got the doctor invited and the patient. The date's 3/24, or I'm sorry, I was going to do the date on the 29th because that's a Sunday. I don't have anything. And the appointment's 8 to 8:30. Well, let's go ahead and make this 8 to 9. You can make it as long or as short as you want, but our theory right now, and we're just getting started doing this with our doctors, is that your meeting will start at 8. It should be done in 15 minutes. So if you want to, you can stack up your appointments 8 to 9 with an hour window just in case you're running behind, so that someone will be waiting for you. But you can schedule them 15 minutes apart. So this one, 8 to 9, is your first appointment. Your next appointment might be 8:15 to 9:15. That gives you an hour window to show up and be there in case you're running behind. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so this is my window, 8 to 9, and you can see down here, if you're using Office 365, it's going to tell you what time windows that you're free and make some recommendations. So if it's already booked up, you'll know you can't schedule something and you need to go to your next available if you're using this already, okay? So you're not going to repeat it, you don't need a room, whatever you think is a good reminder is fine. And then down here, there's nothing, Okay, this is going to make more sense here in just a minute. So I'm going to click up here on these three dots, and because I have the Zoom add-in in my Office 365, I can click Add a Zoom Meeting. Okay, it remembered my login and password, so that's good. So it didn't ask me to put it in, but if it asks you for your login and password, you're going to put in the same one you did for your Zoom meeting, and that will get you operational. Okay, so now what you've got is you've got this default wording here. This part you'll want to change, and then this is the link to be able to get into the meeting for your patient and for the doctor. Okay, they're both going to get a calendar invite for this. So you'll want to change this and make it make sense. So Nurse Radish is inviting you to a scheduled Zoom meeting. If it was me, I'd probably have some wording that I could copy and paste in here over this. Now you don't want to remove this or no one will be able to get into the meeting, but just this part right here. So Nurse Radish is inviting you to a scheduled Zoom meeting, and I would probably say a scheduled Zoom telemedicine appointment. And then we're going to tell them, please, see the attached instructions for how to connect to this appointment. Okay, now I've already created the instructions, so I'm gonna attach them, and then I'm gonna show you what they look like. So this is my instructions, the COVID-19 how-to, and you call it whatever you want. This is just something for me, for my reference, but you'll probably want to make that make a little more sense. So I have instructions here that I've written, and you can use some of this, you know, if you want to screenshot this on the video. I'll probably upload this to our website so people can download it as well. So look for a link on our website, www.algsys.com. You can also see it in the bottom of this right here. So what it's got here, and I'm just going to read through it. Hello patient name. So replace that with whatever the patient name is if you need to, or you can just say hello so you don't have to edit these. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, our organization made the decision to continue practicing medicine. In order to protect our patients and our staff, we have implemented a telemedicine solution called Zoom video conferencing, Zoom for short. Zoom will allow our doctors and patients to interact remotely using commonly used smartphones and tablet computers. If you are using an iPhone or Android-based device built or purchased new after 2014, you should be able to use this device during the Zoom telemedicine appointment. And then I have a little bit of information about supported smartphone operating system versions and so on. The big thing is if they bought it after 2014, which probably most people have at this point, they're probably good to go. And then I make a little statement. Although Windows, OS X, and Chrome devices will work with telemedicine, we discourage their use unless you have previous experience with Zoom on these devices, you have a microphone, camera, and speakers already connected to the device. You will not need to reposition the camera for medical diagnostics. In other words, we really want people to use their smartphone or tablet because if a doctor needs you to hold it a certain way, it's going to be a lot more mobile for the patient to be able to do that and the doctor to be able to see what he needs to see. Okay. Please be aware of your surroundings prior to the telemedicine Zoom meeting. We recommend a well-lit interior room such as a bathroom. Your surroundings should be 1, bright enough for good video quality, 2, away from loud noises and distractions such as TVs, kids, pets, radio, etc. Nothing visible in the video that might be considered embarrassing to you or the patient. In other words, you probably want to make sure that your husband or spouse or whatever is not going to walk behind you in their underwear. It could happen, and it has a lot of good, funny videos on that on the internet. You also want to have enough bars for good internet reception. In other words, when you look at your phone on the internet connection, it should show enough bars that you're going to get good reception, good internet speed, be able to do video and voice chat with your doctor. And additional items say have a flashlight handy in case the doctor needs you to shine a light down your throat or something to be able to see things better in the video. And please note that Zoom will utilize the internet connection currently set up on your phone. So you might use some more bandwidth to be able to do this. If it's a 15-minute appointment, they're probably not going to use a lot of bandwidth on their phone. They should probably be connected to their wireless at home. And we discussed telling them how to do that or what to do. It just got too complicated. Most people already have their phones. They know how to watch Netflix. They've got internet. They're probably not worried about it. So we decided not to go into a lot of detail. Okay. So this is another document that we would send along with this. And it's going to have company name, Telemedicine Process. And so you can take up and generalize this, or you can fill it out. I would probably generalize it. So hello patient name, please see company name, telemedicine process listed below. One of our staff members will call to coordinate the telemedicine session and discuss the details involved in a quick and successful telemedicine appointment. Our staff will schedule the appointment verbally with you over the phone. Our staff will send you an email that includes instruction on how to 1. Install the Zoom application on your mobile device. Please do so prior to the meeting. 2. A calendar item that can be accepted and imported into most mobile device calendaring systems. And 3. A link to the appointment that can be clicked to launch the appointment along with a meeting ID. All appointments are scheduled for an hour in order to give the doctors time to move from telemedicine appointment to appointment. Expect some delays as we adapt to this new technology. Please log into your appointment prior to the appointed time and be ready. Please know that our physicians are working diligently to see patients in a timely manner. Zoom meeting software requires the use and display of our doctor's email address. For this reason, our doctors are using an email alias that is not able or capable of receiving emails. Please do not email the doctors at the email addresses used during the scheduling process. Zoom meeting software provides a dial-in phone number. These phone numbers should not be needed if utilizing a smart device such as an iPhone, iPad, or Android-based device. Using the built-in camera and speaker is the best method for communicating during the telemedicine appointment. If you have any questions or concerns prior to your appointment, feel free to reach out to us and then just have your phone and email for someone who can respond and you don't mind giving that information out. And maybe use like an info@clinic.com or something like that generic, but something that you're monitoring so you can do that, okay? So these documents can go out with that, but just be sure that you've populated, if you read through this, make sure you're giving them all the information. It all makes sense with how you're going to operate your telemedicine, okay? All right, so this is what I attached to the email. So we're coming back to the email. This is the calendar item email we're going to send to our patients and to our doctor. So again, if you look up here at the top, Brian Largent's me, I'm the patient in this, and Dr. Potato is the doctor who's going to be performing the medical, well, not procedures, but who's going to be in the appointment, okay? So we've got it, it's scheduled. You can see over here on the calendar, if you need to move it around, you can move it up and down, wherever you want to do that, okay? So now we're going to send it. So I'm going to hit send, and I'm going to move Nurse Radish, that's this email here, over to the right, and I'm going to go into Dr. Potato's email, which is right here. So on the right, you'll notice Nurse Radish, that's the calendar item we just created. So you can see all the information down here. Nurse Radish is inviting you to a scheduled Zoom telemedicine appointment. Well, Dr. Potato received it. So he needs to accept that. And so he's going to RSVP. So he's going to say, yes, I accept this. And now it's gone. That's fine. Dr. Potato just goes to his calendar and he will see I'm sorry, I've got an old one in here. Let's get rid of that real quick. Cancel. Send. Okay, so he will see this in his calendar. And now when it gets close, he'll get a 15-minute reminder before it that he needs to be ready to be in that appointment. And he's got the instructions as well if he needed them for some reason, which he probably won't. But now he can click this link and join that same meeting that Nurse Radish is in. And so you can have Dr. Potato and Nurse Radish can be in the meeting and they can get everything done that they need to do. Has a meeting ID and a password and so on. Okay, so that is the basic pieces of it, okay? From a end user perspective, what does it look like? Well, number one, let me back up a little bit. Dr. Potato is probably going to want to use his own iPhone or iPad to do all this. So he needs to have an email client on his iPhone or iPad. I'm doing this through the Outlook client on a computer, just running the Outlook web app on a computer. So this is how I'm pretending to be Dr. Potato, okay? But he's probably going to use his iPhone. More than likely, that's what I would use if I was a doctor. And so let's see, what would it look like? So this right here is 3 screenshots of 3 different mail clients on an iPhone XS Max. So this was done on mine. I just created the demo here. So on the left here, this is the iPhone default mail application. And so this is what it would look like when it came into the default mail application. And this, your practice name, this is placeholder stuff that we did earlier. It would actually say whatever you wanted it to say here. And that you've been invited to a telemedicine Zoom appointment. So you'd click on it, and if you click on it, you'd be able to add that to your calendar, okay? And that would just add to whatever the default calendar on your phone is, or for the patient on their phone. The doctor can do this as well. So over here is the iPhone Outlook mail application. This is our preferred mail application. We think it's the most full-featured and functional of all the different mail applications. So on here, it's even better. You can just click the RSVP. That means you accepted the appointment and you're going to be there. And then the other one is the iPhone Gmail application. and on an Android device, it would look like this also. So if you click on this email, there's an option to add this to your Gmail calendar. So this is 3 different views of 3 different mail applications that are common on different phones, okay? So this is what your doctor would accept, your patient would accept, and then once they've accepted it, all they have to do is they'll get a reminder in their calendar, in their phone, and then they just click on the link at the appointed time and get set up, okay? So when they click the link, one of the things that it'll do, it's going to prompt them to install the application, the Zoom conferencing application, which is a free app that they can install. So you might want to add your instructions that they should pre-install that. That's entirely up to you. Or you can just let them follow the instructions when they click the link, because when they click the link, it's going to say you need to install this app, or that it can't open this, or something like that, okay? But those are some things that you'll probably have to adapt and change. A lot of this is going to adapt and change as you work through this process, because it's not going to be as efficient as you might think, or as we'd like it to be initially, and you might find ways to streamline and make this work better. But at least now you're going to be getting started and be able to start doing telemedicine immediately, rather than trying to figure out where to get a starting point. Okay, so we're going to close this. So that was pretty much a kind of a quick rundown using the tools that we use on how to get this operational. So again, you want to create your document. I'm going to open that back up. Let's see here. So you'll want to create this document that explains, what the limitations are, the process. So you'll want to have people install the meeting software. You might explain that, so that they'll understand how things work. Now, this process, again, if you use this process that I've written here, just make sure you actually follow it, which means that you're going to go through your electronic medical record system. You're going to find your existing appointments, if you have any. You're going to basically call those patients, schedule a time that works for them for the telemedicine. Tell them what's involved over the phone to do that. Once they've agreed to the time and understand what's involved, and you might, have a script that your staff can follow that says, hey, when you call them, you need to say this, this, and this. You could ask them if it's an older patient, are you comfortable with smartphones? Do you have a family member that could help you set up and be configured, or a phone that we can email that could get this working? Just think it through. And then when you're done and you've got it all together, just have everyone play a different role. When we worked with our clients, I pretended to be the patient, just like I did here, and I would connect from another room in their practice, and we would walk through the process. How does this really work? You don't want your doctors frustrated, and doctors don't like to be frustrated, so make sure that everyone's comfortable before you launch into telemedicine, and that this is going to be a smooth process. So the thing is, you have to be prepared for patients to be confused, frustrated themselves, and irritated by having to use a technology that they don't understand and they don't want to use. There's going to be a lot of people saying, can you hear me now? This doesn't work. I hate this dang thing. You're going to get a lot of that. So make sure that the nurses and the people that are on the phone are skilled enough and comfortable enough to walk those people through, or have a workaround. If you can't walk them through, then say, hey, can you find a family member that could maybe help you walk through this, and then we can reschedule for later today, or whatever your next available time is. Okay, but it's going to be work. It really is. I hate to say that. I wish technology was smoother. But nobody's used to using these kind of tools unless you've worked in an enterprise situation. So it's going to take a little bit of work for everyone. That's all I've got. If you have any questions or need assistance getting this set up, we'd be more than happy to help you with that. We are an IT company. We do bill for our time, so we would have to bill for that. But we can help you get this set up if you do have questions, or would like to just have us come out and walk you through and hold your hands, kind of get you guys comfortable with it, so when you start to move through this process that it'll go as smoothly as it possibly can. If you have any questions or concerns, my name is Brian Largent. I'm with the ArcLight Group. My number is 918-270-6600, and we're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we can help you guys get this completely set up either on-site or remotely. Have a great rest of your week. Thanks.